he will see his offspring. He will prolong his days. That, by the way, is resurrection. And the good pleasure of the Lord will prosper in his hand, and as a result of the anguish of his soul, he will see it and be satisfied. By his knowledge, the righteous one, my servant, will justify the many, and he will bear their iniquities. That's what Jesus came to do, is literally die for our sins. How cool is that? That's really good. You know, that is wonderful. We always look at soldiers, and we think soldiers are our heroes. What about somebody who's literally laid down his life so that you can live with him forever? That he wants to know you and have a relationship with you. That's really special. I think that's very, very cool. So, at any rate, before, during, after, I'm not going to get really uptight with this, but if you ever want to just come up closer and get a real close look at this photograph, please feel free to. If you want to take photographs, video, by golly, you go for it. So she's got the right idea. If you need to get closer because you want to see what I'm referring to, because we're going to be going through a lot of stuff. And by the way, I usually do a 3-hour presentation on the shroud. Some of you who've been here the other 2 times realize it can be a long ordeal. We're not going to go through that length of time today, so aren't you glad about that? So, but this is an opportunity for you to get close. If you want to see the real deal is in Torino, Italy, or Turin, Italy. It has been there since the early 1500s, and it hangs off of the ceiling at about 15 feet above the floor in a pretty dark room, so it's a little hard to see, and you have to stand in line for probably a couple of hours because there's usually about 500,000 people in the line, and they move people through there pretty quickly. So anybody seen the real one? Because there are people who have actually gone to Torino, and they only bring it out once every 10 years to put it on display. The last time was about 5 years ago, so we're probably about halfway to getting to see it again. Every once in a while, the Pope will ask that it be brought out for a special viewing for the public, so that's kind of cool when that happens as well. But so what you got here is something that's kind of cool. And by the way, if you'd like to own a copy or a full-size photographic replica, I understand that they do sell them. They're about $1,000 right now, so it's not all that expensive, to be very honest with you. You're spending more on your automobiles and stuff like that than it would be to have one of these hanging in your house. And what a great testimony is people going, what is this hanging here for? Well, this is one of the best tools I have ever known for sharing the gospel and the good news of Jesus Christ. Who Jesus was, what he came for, what he suffered, and when he died and when he rose again. So it's an exciting time. So once again, the shroud is mentioned in every one of the Gospels in the Bible. So I basically started this presentation with shroud scriptures, verses described. There are also in the Bible verses that describe the image of Jesus, which is an answer to the question, why is this so important?